Yo Book Nerds. I read They Call Me GÜERO, a Border Kids Poems by David Bowles. This is a collection of poems. This is middle grade poetry. It says on the back for ages 9 through 12. And these poems all kind of go together and form kind of a little narrative about GÜERO. And you learn about him and his family. And GÜERO is a kid that lives close to the border. He has family on both sides of the border. And these poems are just lovely. I really enjoyed reading this. It's middle grade, so it's light and fun and easy. And it honestly was kind of nostalgic for me. I am not Mexican, but my ex-husband is Mexican and I was with him for many, many years. And honestly, there was a lot of poems in here that was stuff that I did with them over the years. And I've always had such a respect and admiration for Mexican culture. And this was just so much fun to read. My firstborn daughter is half Mexican. So even though this isn't my culture, this is her culture. And so it was just fun to read this. There are poems about the cucuy. I know those stories. There's a poem about the Dale, Dale, Dale song that is sung at birthday parties when people are hitting the piñata. These poems hit on little tiny details that I recognized, like cleaning a grill with an onion, searching for baby Jesus in La Rosca, throwing confetti eggs at your family on Easter. All these little details were so much fun in these poems. It made me think of many memories of my own, and it made me think of many things that my daughter will grow up doing, and it was just a lot of fun. Güero is a Mexican slang term which means white boy. I have often been called güera by my ex's family, so it's kind of funny that way. Like I know that word and I know it well. I have been to Mexico and I've been to border towns, and there are descriptions of border towns and of checkpoints, which I could clearly see because I've been there. This was just wonderful. I loved the depictions, and it won't take you long to read because it's very short and it's middle grade. So I definitely think that people should check this out. I definitely could see myself reading this with my daughter when she's a little bit bigger. She's a little bit over 2 years old right now, so I don't think she has any interest in poetry at the moment. But as she gets older and is experiencing her culture more, she might really enjoy this. So I definitely could see myself reading this with her. This is one of the books that I had to read for summer class, and I definitely see why we would read this. I could definitely see having this in a middle school classroom. So many students that are Mexican, that have Mexican heritage, would love this and would definitely relate to this. And it gives those that don't have that heritage a nice little taste of that culture. It's been a long time since I've read a collection of poetry, so even though these weren't the best poems I've ever read in my whole life, it was very fresh, it was very light and fun, and I did enjoy it. I'm always interested to get more poetry on my shelves. Go check it out. I'm going to read you the last poem in this collection because I loved it. As someone who loves nature, I loved this one. It's called The Refuge on the Ranch. It's quiet here except for the hushed flow of the river and the hum of bugs answered by the sharp trill of birds. Somewhere an ocelot growls. I know poetry when I hear it. That's beautiful. I loved it. This was just lovely. If you've read it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Kind of a shorter video, but it was a short book, so I don't have much more to say besides that. I think that you should go experience those poems for yourself. That's all for me this week. Hit like and subscribe. Thanks for talking books with me.